sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. That's how you do it.
Is that how I did it?
I feel like that's how you did it.
Hello. Is that better?
Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to a couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And this is our power hour of true crime, fucked up things that sometimes make you want to weep and other times make you want to punch somebody in the face.
Things that make you go, bleh.
Yes.
Yeah, and that.
Especially today.
Yeah.
I'm going to uncover just shit that makes you want to, I don't know, attack things.
Yes.
This is today is one of the worst ones I've ever had to do.
Oh, man. Speaking of attacking.
As I move the microphone. Jordan, sorry. We set this up perfectly, and then I move the microphone.
We do tests beforehand, and every time Brooklyn's like, let me redo this.
I know. Let me just fuck it up in the middle of it. It's because now I got my elbow.
We're professional. I mean,
she's
got this. You're in author pose. Like
I
if
am.
your book, that's the back of a book. You
God, if I could have a book.
You should write
That's
one.
a life goal. I don't have anything to write about.
You have a lot of shit to write about and a lot of shit to say. I have something to say.
What do you have to say?
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is getting out of prison early on December 28th or 9th.
Oh, so she's going to get to celebrate the new year. New year, new you.
December 28th. She's getting out. If you guys don't know, which I'm assuming.
We've done an episode. I don't remember which number.
Yeah, just Google.
Yeah, I was about to look, but
no, we'll give you guys homework. It's what we do. It's fun.
Jizz?
Yeah, but she's getting out. I can
How do you
imagine.
feel?
I mean, she served her time. She did the crime. She served the time. Let her get out.
She also, at the end of the day, she did kill someone who was aggressively abusing her for years upon years upon years and also conning people out of their hard-earned money. So,
yeah, I mean,
good for her.
I know. I'm
kind of happy for that one.
I want to see what happens.
I
Maybe
agree.
a reality show. I would not be shocked.
I hope not, but you're probably right.
I'm not shocked. You know, I'd watch it.
So, speaking of shocking things, can I tell you what I saw when I was leaving my neighborhood today?
Yes, please tell me.
I was driving out of the Deer Valley, and I see. And if these are your kids, I'm by no means making fun. I'm literally just saying, "Wow, that was a shock and awe moment." I am never here to kink shame or shame. This isn't even a kink. Sorry, because these are teenagers. It's not a kink. They were probably like 13, 15-year-olds.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't fucking figure out ages. For all I know, they were 32.
Right.
They had like furry masks on.
Okay.
You know, and
Like-
for anyone who doesn't know, furry are like the people who dress like the animals.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Okay.
Because like one of them had it on and the other one like had it like kind of like sunglasses on the top of your head type of thing. And
They're
I
like
was,
eye masks?
yes.
Okay.
And like one was like,
But furry.
yes.
And just doing what?
Hold on.
Okay.
And so they're just walking.
Okay.
But you can tell that it's like maybe one's like a fox or a raccoon or something. And the
Okay.
other one's maybe a wolf or whatever. I don't really know.
Okay.
And so then as I keep driving, I'm like, you know, because you can't help but be like, oh, there's something on their face. And then as I keep driving, I look in my rearview mirror and I'm pretty sure one had a tail.
No. Like, were they walking like you and I would just take a walk?
Yep.
Like, not like skipping or
Nope, just normal,
prancing?
casual walk.
Why am I disappointed that they weren't doing anything else?
I don't know. I'm just like, okay, hey, do you want to go for a walk around the neighborhood? Yeah, but don't forget your tail.
Yeah. I mean, I never do. I don't leave home without it.
I know. It's
God.
just,
Wow.
what a life.
I have questions.
What a time. I do too.
I'm just drive through your neighborhood later looking for him, and I'm going to roll down the window and
That
be
sounds
like,
like a pedophile.
it doesn't it?
It 100%.
I just want to ask questions. I'm not going to say I have free puppies in the back. I'm going to be like, excuse me, Fox and the Hound, or whatever the fuck they are. Like, I would like to talk to you for 5 minutes. I won't even get out of the car. I'll just sit in the car and talk to them.
Yeah. Well,
And
go
they
find
scurry
him.
away.
Yeah.
I love it. The
It
Fox
was
and
great.
the Hounds.
I was like,
and
man,
Deer
what a
Valley.
fun. See, you can be you can be a person that's judgy and like whatever and feel a certain way. But to me, I'm like, what
I
a
love
day.
it.
I was like, what a day. Do your fucking thing.
I love it. You know, I'm a slut for a costume, and I love to. What did you tell me yesterday? That I love to dress up my person.
No, I was like, you like to decorate your person.
Decorate my person.
Yes.
Which I do.
Yeah.
So
and you do it well.
Good for them. And thank you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Go them. Other things, as I was telling you, I feel like I've been really, I don't want to say overwhelmed, But I feel like I've been exceptionally busy lately because we're getting down to the final countdown of my wedding. Okay. No.
I love that you leaned in like this was your EP.
I know. This is the point of the podcast.
We're going to turn this into a singing show.
Then I would not be a part of it. No, I don't know. Things that, it's just a lot. Everything feels like
what
a lot.
Did you say
We
before?
have our Christmas party next week. I'm sending out Christmas cards. I've gotten to save the dates. I'm trying to plan.
They're so cute.
Thanks.
They're so cute.
I showed my parents them yesterday. They liked it.
Oh.
So yeah, it feels like lots and lots.
You got a lot going on.
Feel really expensive.
Doesn't it piss you off to spend? It pisses me off to spend money on things, and I'm like, but why though?
And I'm only sending out 10 Christmas cards. So if you're one of the 10 people that listen to the podcast and you receive a Christmas card from me, just know that you are in one of the 10.
An elite Christmas list.
Yes. And at the end of the day, you're really one of the 5 because Travi Pads kind of has 5 too that he got to give away. So I don't know. I'm like, wow, that costs money. And every time I took this day, I'm like, Brooklyn, I know that I'm anal and I know that I have anxiety and I'm a little high strung. By little, I mean tightly fucking wound.
You are wound pretty tight.
I am a little spring that if you just could pop that, I'd fly all over the place. But I can't believe how I'm like putting stamps on these. And I'm like, that's like 28 cents.
Is that
we're $2? I don't fucking know. They're a lot. They're a lot.
I feel like they're like $49
a booklet
now.
is going to be like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like for me to send, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm doing save the dates, and then I'm doing wedding invites. These motherfuckers.
Do you have to put them on the RSVPs? Like, are you sending RSVPs with your invites? So then you have to put extra stamp in there for the people.
No, I never thought of that, and I will not unpack this on the podcast with you. But we're gonna have to talk about it when we're at Kroger.
Oh man,
because I'm like, can't they just text me? Can you just do that?
I mean, you could.
When you're getting married and you're fucking 36 and 40, can't you just text me?
Text me. They send you a video back, a video response. I will be there.
Right?
Yeah, just don't put one on mine. I think I can make it.
You're one of the ones I didn't put a stamp on. I was like, you know what?
I didn't even get a stamp?
Nope.
God.
I'm not even putting it. No.
If I don't get a Christmas card, this is our last episode.
No, that's what I'm saying on the Christmas card. I was like, I just put Heather and Will. I was like, fuck this. I'm not stamping. Fuck that shit. I was ready to get mailed out. I got to wait for the fan bam to sign it.
Oh, yeah. Got to get
it doesn't apparently look good if I just do Brooklyn, Travis, and Jay all in the same hand.
Just write with your left hand for Jay.
Travis is really good at faking Jay's signature. Yeah. Not that we've done that before.
I know how to do Will's, and he thinks it's wrong, but I can do it.
Yeah, I bet I could do Trav's because he just does Trav in capital letters.
Yeah.
Easy. He signs everything Trav. I love him.
Like he's
so
a
cute.
rapper.
Yeah.
Just Trav. This new episode.
So talk about the episode. Let's hop into it because we just bullshitted longer than we usually do.
I know.
Our
come
apologies.
back if anybody skipped.
Yeah,
we're done.
We're doing it now. Okay, can I go first? Because I just like sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off, and I just got to get it over with.
I'm nervous about this.
You should be.
This forensic foreplay that you've done.
Forensic foreplay.
Did you like that
episode title?
Did you like that one?
I did.
Okay, cool. Okay,
just sucks. This one just sucks. So I got it from Wikipedia, the scare chamber, and all that's interesting. Everything I'm about to say will be said fucking incorrectly. This crime was committed in Japan, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't speak Japanese.
Really?
I know.
I have told everyone that you do.
It's unfortunate that you were wrong for you because you lied to them. I don't speak the Japanese.
Someone needs Rosetta Stone.
So I'm going to butcher every fucking inch of this. My apologies specifically to the victim. As for the people who did this, fuck off. I hope I get your name wrong. I'm going to say it wrong. Fuck you. There are 4 men in Japan that I want to say fuck you to. A personal fuck you from Brooklyn Maple.
Oh my God.
Let's
you look
dive
kind of
into
scary.
I should, because this sucks. I hate this story.
Like
this is one of those stories that I just wish that I wouldn't have picked, because I picked it when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for our 75th episode, and I put it on the docket. I waited until this morning because Mama's busy, and I started doing my research. I knew it was bad. Cut to the fact that it's way worse than anything I've ever imagined. I can't fathom. We've done 2 other. I personally have done two torture scenarios that were just utterly terrible. One with like a pen in the ear, other one with gouged out eyes. Like, this fucking sucks.
Okay.
It fucking sucks, and that's all I can say.
But we'll tell the story for the victim because she matters.
And I hope that I say her name right. It's Junko Furuta. Have you ever heard of her?
I've
never heard of the story until I was like diving into stuff back in the...
You read some like pretty crazy books.
Yeah.
So the fact that you said you've never heard a story like this before, like this is probably pretty triggering.
Yes.
Okay. Because you look so serious right now.
My left eye is kind of already pre-watering. Oh, it just sucks. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if J is a Y. I'm like thinking it's Spanish and it's not. So I think it's Junko. So my apologies once more. Furuta, she was born in Masato, another place, Saitama Prefecture. She lived with her parents, her older brother, and her younger brother. As a teenager, she attended Yashio Minami High School and worked part-time at a plastic molding factory during after-school hours since October of 1988. She did this to save money for a graduation trip that she had planned. She accepted a job as an electronics retailer where she planned on working after graduation. At high school, she was really well liked by her classmates. She had really high grades, very infrequent like absences, so just a really picture-perfect student. She was a popular girl who was considered to be pretty. Fuck saying considered to be pretty. She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like this girl really was gorgeous. And she had dreams of becoming an idol singer, which is really precious. The night she was abducted, sadly, she had been looking forward to going home to watch the final episode of this show called Tonbo, which is like dragonfly in Japanese. So sadly, that kind of comes back around.
Okay.
But she was really just on her way home from work. And she was only 17.
Oh, God.
And so once more, she was a popular girl. And apparently at some point, one of the boys that she had rejected who had liked her is where all of this kind of transpires. But let's talk about the perpetrators. So it's 4 young boys. Hiroshi Miyano, he's 18. Joe Agura, he's 17. Shinji Minato, he is 16. Yasushi Wanta, it literally looks like wannabe, and he was 17. In the court documents, they're literally just referred to as A, B, C, and D.
As they should be from what you've prefaced.
I know, and you're like, if you haven't even heard this shit yet. Yeah. At the time of the crime, they used the second floor of Minato's house as a hangout and had previously been completely fucked up assholes. And they did shit like stealing purses and extortion. I don't know how the fuck, that's just a casual thing. And they did rape girls.
Oh my God, they're so young.
They're so young and they're terrible.
Fuckers.
So Miyano, he's the leader of like the whole experience. Okay. He's the one that eventually at one point gets turned down by her.
Okay.
And that like just pisses him off. But he had a history of problematic behavior since elementary school. So he was shoplifting and he was damaging school property. In April of 86, he enrolled in a private high school in Tokyo, though he dropped out the following year. After this, he continued to commit several crimes that escalated over time. At the time of the crime, he had been living with his girlfriend, the older sister of boy D. Yasushi Wannabe, whatever. I swear it's spelled like Wadananabe. That was pretty.
Yeah.
Nailed it. And was working as a tile worker to save up money to marry her. So he was dating his friend's sister.
Okay.
He wasn't happy with how much money he was making at work. So he got involved with a gangster.
Oh. That's always a natural step. Mm-hmm. Not get a better job.
Right. Just go gangster.
Yeah.
And frequently committed sex crimes. This is legit how it's written. Like, get ready though.
What?
I don't know how just sex crimes like just pop into it.
Oh my God.
But it's literally like just tossed in. Shockingly enough, though, his girlfriend didn't like that he was committing sex crimes.
What a prude.
Right. And so she left him.
Good.
So he was doing whatever the fuck he was doing to like make money to marry her.
To marry her and then go to being a skis ball.
But you're also
rapist.
like a fuck wad and you want to get married at 18? I mean, it was 88.
But
so I guess that's cash.
Fuck
that's
him.
Normal. So we have a guy who obviously had some issues early on. You could argue in this one, like if he was born that way or not. Did I spend that much time diving into him? No.
He didn't deserve it.
Because he's a fucking fuckwad. Mm-hmm. But on November 25th of 1988, Miyano and Minato wandered around Masato with the intention, like all of this bullshit ass names, just like, yeah, I'm following along. So I could literally see how they go like, yeah. I'm like,
I was doing it for show.
I'm saying names too, and it's like, fuck if Minato is a place. It's not like it was like
I remembered the place
in Owensboro. Anyway, they had the intention of robbing and raping local women because that's just I just can't fathom 2 guys just hanging out and being like, okay, well, we'll just rob them. I get needing cash and being a shitwad. I can understand that, but then we're like, you know what? Let's fuck somebody together.
Oh God,
like
that
just
doesn't
insane.
want to.
Yes, that's just insane to me. I don't know.
You're pre-firing me up, so.
Oh, there's no feel good on this. There will be no moment of feel-good justice or anything. This is just shit wrapped up in a fucking tampon. How's that?
Oh, God.
Straight bad.
Nauseating.
I know.
Ugh.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
I was like, what's too disgusting?
Yeah, you went right
I went
for
in.
them.
I did it.
Like you usually do.
I did. At 8:30 p.m., they spotted Furuta riding her bike home after she had finished a shift at her job. Under Miyano's orders, Minato kicked Furuta off her bike and then fled the scene.
What?
Miyano, under the pretense of witnessing the attack by coincidence, approaches her and offers to walk her home safely. Upon gaining her trust, he rapes her in a warehouse nearby, and then again in a nearby hotel, threatening to kill her. From the hotel, he calls Minato and his other friends, Joe, Oguro, and Washushi Wannabe, and they brag to him. He brags to them about how he raped this girl.
Gross.
And they had gone to school together, so they knew her. Ugh. He reported, Oguro reportedly asked Miyano to keep her in captivity in order for them to have more people come over to rape her.
Okay, pause. First of all, I'm already mad.
Mm-hmm. I am currently not happy.
Which one was the one that actually liked her?
Miyato, the main one.
The one that did it first?
The one, yes.
Okay.
The one that acted like he was her friend.
Stupid.
Sorry if I sounded weird. I had to take off my parka so I could wear I'm wearing a pajama shirt. I slept in this and then am now here.
I love it.
I just want to be the best that I can be.
Yeah.
And that happens by me wearing my pajamas here and in public later on. It is.
Like, you need to bring a little joy because you're bringing me down already and you're not even to the bad part.
I'm not anywhere near it. So I'm just going to keep dropping in here.
All right.
The group had a history of gang rape and had recently kidnapped and raped another girl who they did actually release afterwards. So they were literally like, oh my God, you raped a girl? Cool. Keep her there so that we can come rape her too.
Ew.
Yeah. Around 3 a.m., Miyano took Furuta to a nearby park where Minato, Ogura, and Wannabe were waiting. They had learned her home address from a notebook in her backpack and told her that if she were to live, if she wanted to live, that Yakuza, fuck, that was really hard for me. Sorry. I think it's because I read some of this in Spanish in my old history of life, and that's why I keep saying like words fucked up and wrong. Yakuza members would kill her family if she attempted to escape. The four boys overpowered her, took her to the house in the Ayase district of Adachi, and gang raped her.
Oh my God.
The house, which was owned by Minato's parents, soon became their regular gang hangout. So they take her back to one of the kids' houses because they are children. They're 16 to 18.
Where are the parents?
We'll find out more.
Oh, no.
On November 27th, Furuta's parents contacted the police about her missing. To discourage further investigation, the kidnappers actually forced her to call her mom 3 times to convince her that she had actually run away but was safe and was staying with some friends. They also forced her to stop the police investigation.
Wow. Like, she's a good kid, too. So out of nowhere, she's like, nope, I'm running away.
Yeah.
Fucking, okay.
When Minato's parents were present, Furuta was forced to act like his girlfriend.
No. Mm-hmm.
Now, they dropped this pretense when it became clear that his parents were not going to report him to the police.
No, they did not?
No. But we'll talk about it, too, because Minato's parents, they claim that they didn't intervene because they were afraid of their own son, and he was becoming really, really violent. So there's a level of that, but then in another one that I read that his brother came home, like his brother was witnessing what the fuck was happening and told his parents, and his parents did call the cops. So the cops just didn't show up.
Oh my.
So it could have been his gang affiliation. So a parent did call at some point and told the cops, but I think the gang affiliation of what was going on here is what prevented them from actually doing anything.
Oh my God. All right.
On the night of November 28th, Miyano invited 2 other boys, Tetsuo Nakamura and Kochi Iara, which ends up being E and F, respectively, to the Minato house. They went to the upstairs room where Junko was sitting. Junko? I feel like as an American, it's hard to call, like, her name's Junko, and I get it, but that's junk in our, like, I struggle with saying her name.
Yeah.
But sadly, she was sitting wearing a long sleeve t-shirt and a skirt that Miyano had stolen from a clothing store a few days prior. They drank cough medicine, pretending it was drugs, and acted high. She tried to get away, screaming in fear. Miyanu grabbed her legs and Irara put a pillow over her face. The parents were awakened and went to check whenever they heard her scream, and he told her it was nothing. The group then proceeded to gang rape her. During this time, she was in a state of unconsciousness, just staring up at the ceiling, not blinking. Now, they held her captive in his house for 40 days.
What?
40 days. And then whenever I read other things, it says 44 days. So I think it was 44 days that they repeatedly beat, raped, and tortured her. They also invited other men and teenage boys home and encouraged them to take turns raping her. I read that at least 100 members of the Yakuza gang were invited over for the mere objective of having their way with a 17-year-old girl.
Oh, my God. Okay.
They would take turns raping her, urinating on her, and inserting foreign objects inside of her. This ranged from beer bottles to iron rods to chicken on skewers. At some point, they inserted firecrackers into her anal cavity and set them off.
What the? Oh, my God.
Oof. This is what I'm saying. It's like the hardest one.
Oh, my God.
According to the group's statement, the four had shaved her pubic hair, forced her to dance to music while naked and masturbate in front of them. They left her on the balcony in the middle of the night with little clothing. They also force-fed her large amounts of alcohol, milk, and water. She was forced to smoke multiple cigarettes at once and inhale paint thinner. In one incident, Miyano repeatedly burned her arms and legs with lighter fluid.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I don't know.
Oh.
By the end of December, she was severely malnourished after being fed only small amounts of food and eventually only milk. I read that they hung her up from the ceiling and used her as a punching bag. Her nose bled so badly that she could only breathe through her mouth. When they let her down from the ceiling, they dropped dumbbells on her stomach, thus greatly damaging her internal organs. She was forced to eat cockroaches, and when she asked for water or given anything to drink, they would give her her own urine. And she vomited most of this out completely. I was like truly hoping that like parts of this was a lie. Like that maybe I read a fake page or that like something was just expanded into things that weren't right. The damage that they had caused to her was so severe that she couldn't urinate or defecate because of just the damage to her body there alone. And sadly, no, all of this was true. Due to her severe injuries and infected burns because he had caught her basically on fire. She became unable to go to the downstairs toilet and became confined to the floor in his room in a state of extreme weakness. So now she's just laying on the floor. Furuta's appearance was drastically altered from the brutality of the attacks. Her face was so swollen that it was difficult to make out most of her features. Her body also was so severely crippled that it was starting to give off a rotting smell. And that caused the four boys to lose interest in wanting to have sex with her. And because of that, they decided to kidnap a 19-year-old woman who was also on her way home from work and gang rape her. On January 4th of 89, after losing a game of mahjong against another person the night before, Miyano decided that he was going to take all of his anger out on Furuta by pouring lighter fluid on her body and setting her on fire.
What the?
He allegedly made attempts to put out the fire, but gradually became unresponsive. They continued to punch her, ignited a candle, and dripped hot wax on her face. They placed 2 short candles on her eyelids and forced her to drink her own urine. After she was kicked, she fell onto a stereo unit and collapsed into a fit of convulsions. She was bleeding profusely. There was pus that was emerging from her infected burns. The 4 boys covered her hands in plastic bags. They continued to beat her and dropped an iron exercise ball onto her stomach several times. The attack reportedly lasted for 2 hours, and she eventually succumbed to her wounds and died. And this is what I was saying. This is the worst fucking one I've ever done.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
In my life.
I know, and I wonder if that's why it hasn't. I don't know. I could sit here and cry for like an hour.
I mean, I'm about to, so I can't talk.
Yeah.
If they're not dead, I'm going to fly over there right now.
Less than 24 hours after her death, Minato's brother called to tell him that Furuta appeared to be dead. Afraid of being penalized for murder, the group wrapped her body in blankets and shoved her into a travel bag. They then put her body in a 55 U.S. gallon drum and filled it with wet concrete.
What?
At around 8 p.m., they loaded it and eventually disposed of the drum in a cement truck in Koto, Tokyo. During her captivity, Furuta mentioned to her captors several times she regretted not being able to watch the final episode of her favorite show, The Dragonfly. Miyano found the videotape of the episode and placed it in the travel bag. As he later explained, it was not because he pitied Furuta, it's because he didn't want her to return as a ghost and haunt him. What the absolute fuck?
Yeah. And how did they even just move a drum? Like, how are they doing all these things with no one saying anything to them?
I have no idea.
No one, like,
I mean, it's
how do you
Tokyo. It's so busy. I don't know if people aren't noticing, aren't paying attention. If it looks like they're just like workers, they're doing it in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. I don't know. It's also in the 80s. So it's
teens
like.
with a drum. Like, it's just an unusual thing.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
or it's not because they're older and they do have jobs and maybe, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Okay. God.
On January 23rd of 89, Miyano and Ogura were arrested for the gang rape of that 19-year-old girl whom they'd kidnapped in December. On March 29th, 2 police officers came to interrogate them as women's underwear had been found at their addresses. During their interrogation, Miyano believed that one of the officers was aware of his culpability in Furuta's murder. Thinking that Joe Ogura had confessed to the crimes against Furuta, Miyano told the police where to find her body. So he had thought one of the friends had turned.
So they faked him, like, right? Or he just assumed?
I don't know because I don't know what, but he himself thought that because he started being interviewed about Furuta, he just assumed that his friend had told him. And so they said where the body was. The police were initially puzzled by the confession, like as they had been referring to the murder of a different woman and her 7-year-old son that had occurred 9 days prior to Furuta's abduction, a case which still remains unsolved. So he accidentally
told on himself?
Yeah.
Good.
It's the smallest part. Because as I mentioned, there's nothing good. The police found the drum containing her body the following day. She was identified via fingerprints. On April 1st of 89, Ogura was arrested for a separate sexual assault and subsequently rearrested for her murder. The arrest of wannabe Minato and Minato's brother followed. Several other accomplices who participated in abusing and raping Furuta were officially identified, including Tetsuo Nakamura and Koichi Ihara, who were charged with rape after their DNA was found on and inside the victim's body. The identities of the defendants were sealed by the court, as they were all juveniles at the time. So just so you know, all of the other people who were involved in this were juveniles at the time.
That is insane.
Journalists from Sukan Bushun magazine uncovered their identities and published them on the grounds that, given the severity of the crime, the accused didn't deserve the right to have anonymity upheld. So
good. Fucking good.
All 4 defendants pled guilty to committing bodily injury that resulted in death rather than murder.
How is...
Because technically they beat her and tortured her to death instead of just shooting her. I have no idea.
That is the dumbest fucking thing.
Hold on. Tight.
No, don't. Why?
In July of 1990, a lower court sentenced Hiroshi Miyano, the leader of the crime, to only 17 years in prison.
Stop it.
He appealed his sentence, but the Tokyo High Court judge Ruji Yanase sentenced him to an additional 3 years in prison. The 20-year sentence... 20 years.
That's it. So he'll get out when he's like my age, when he's 38.
Sentence, that was, just so you know, it was the second longest sentence given in Japan before life imprisonment.
What?
He was 18 years old at the time of her murder. After his release, he moved in with his mother. However, in 2018, he was arrested again for attempted murder because he now beat a 32-year-old man with a metal rod and slashed his throat with a knife.
Yeah, because you can't reform.
That's what I'm saying. You cannot reform, and I'm sorry for clapping into the mic.
You can't reform from that.
No.
You don't do that.
There's not.
Prison is for reform. Allegedly.
There's no reforming.
There's no...
And everything that they had done at that age and that level of sadistic fucking torture, you're never... No,
you're not going to be like, you know what? I found God and I'm going to...
And then they all had history of crimes before.
Yeah, they're shitbags. And they're always going to be shitbags.
Yeah.
Bring them over here. Could you imagine, like, they would get their ass beat over here in prison. Especially all that shit they did and she was 17. They wouldn't survive. There's no way.
Well, Yasushi Wannabe That really isn't his last name, but whatever. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Who was originally sentenced, are you ready?
No.
To 3 to 4 years.
What? You get more than that for weed.
Received an upgraded sentence of 5 to 7. He was 17 at the time of the murder. For his role in the crime, Joe Ogura served 8 years in a juvenile prison before he was released in August of 1999. After his release, he took the name of Kamisaku when he was adopted by a supporter. He is said to have boasted about his role in the kidnapping, rape, and torture.
Why was adopted?
I don't know.
Like, do you think it's just like, people are so fucked?
Yeah, it could have been that someone literally like
I'll be your guardian.
Yeah.
I want to adopt this.
But he was 28.
28-year-old
27.
rapist?
Well, I guess under that, because if he only got 8 years and it was 99, he was 26 or something.
Maybe he needed like someone to be released to.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Like in the care of.
In which he was still boasting about it.
Stupid.
In July of 2004, Ogura was arrested for assaulting Takatoshi Usono, an acquaintance he thought his girlfriend may have been involved with. Okay, so are we understanding here? We're talking about the third one now.
Yeah.
Or actually, no. This was the same guy. Sorry. So after he got out in 99, in 2004, he's arrested for assaulting someone else.
What?
I know. Because he thought his girlfriend may have been involved with this guy, so he tracked him down, beat him, and shoved him into his truck. He then drove him to his mother's bar in Masato, where he allegedly beat him for 4 hours.
Wow. Who's dating these people?
I don't know. During that time, he repeatedly threatened to kill the man, telling them that he had killed before, and he knew how to get away with it.
Yeah, because he got a slap on the fucking
wrist. But look
wrist.
at this. He was sentenced to 7 years. He was sentenced to 7 years.
For the dude.
For the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he got...
like 3 to 4.
And then they bumped it up to 7 or whatever for torturing a girl for 44 days and raping and killing her.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure that it's equal.
You just want to make
4
sure.
4 hours versus 44 days.
Man and woman. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
But let's add to it that his mom then vandalized Furuta's grave.
What?
Because she said that the dead girl had ruined her son's life.
Fuck his
I'm sorry,
mom
let me throw
too.
the word allegedly in there.
Oh, she did. If you
By
had
a mother to then blame the victim of the crime
yeah,
because your son is a piece of shit that you raised like a fucking psychotic cunt.
yeah,
I swear.
If Nancy Grace had a potty mouth, you just channeled your Nancy Grace. I was very proud. Okay, sorry, I had to shine some light in this because this is like I'm holding back tears. This is awful,
This
and
is
now
terrible.
I'm even more mad.
As you should be. Noburuha, who, I don't know, Minato, now Shinji Minato, who originally received a 4 to 6 year sentence, was resentenced to 5 to 9 years by Judge Ryuji Yanase upon appeal, which was a guy from before. He was 16 at the time of the murder. His parents and his brother were not charged, and that was at his house.
They were not.
They were not
at
charged.
all.
Mm-mm. Furuta's parents were dismayed by the sentences received by their daughter's killers and won a civil suit against the parents of Minato, which it's their fucking house that the crimes were committed. Miyato's mother reportedly paid Junko Furuta's parents 50 million yen, which is $370,000 US dollars in compensation as ordered by the civil court after selling their family home. So they sold the home and then gave her parents the money.
Gave her the money.
The concept here is that she was failed by the fact that apparently the cops were informed twice, as the brother supposedly told the parents, and then they had called the cops, but the cops didn't come. I'm still very confused by that scenario.
I bet that gang thing.
I think so too. And then they also, she grabbed the phone at one point and called 911.
Yeah.
And then I guess they caught her, hung up. The cops called back. The boys answered and said it was a mistake.
They still should. Okay. This whole thing is fucked.
If this would have happened in a different country or if the boys were like a little bit older, they should have received like capital punishments, obviously. Instead, all 4 boys are free today. And that is the horrific, sad, terrible, utterly depressing story of the murder of Junko Furuta.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. And the fact that the guys are free today.
That's
and
also.
we're free essentially under 10 years.
Yeah, you would have thought they got a DUI or something.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Do you get more time for vehicular manslaughter because you had too many fucking Long Island iced teas at Fridays?
Yeah.
Than you would this. for 44 days. With parents knowing.
Okay, I can't unpack it anymore because I'm
I
really
agree.
like about to
I know,
cry
it's
and
terrible,
I'm mad.
and I
My
love you.
palms are sweating.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
I'm not nervous.
Mom spaghetti.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm sorry, and I love you. Now you do your story and tell me how it's
Yeah,
happy.
I feel like you should hug me or something. Fuck.
I'm all of
God.
a sudden cold. It's probably because of sadness.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, mine's not got any bright spots either, but there's none of, it's not on that level. Let's
Good.
just say that. It's still bad. So
Well, fuck.
here we do go. This is the murder of Jerry Wheeler. You familiar?
No.
Yeah, it's not a popular one. I had to dig a little bit for this. Wikipedia, I use that. NBC.com. I saw some stuff on YouTube, WSBTV.com. And then where I originally saw it was an episode of Snapped from, I think, 2020. Because I was watching it, I'm like, wait, what? Jerry Wheeler was a 66-year-old loving guy who had he was a huge family man. And this story is so wild that, of course, because I tend to do that the killer overshadows the victim, unfortunately, but I got as much as I could. His wife was on Snapped, and she told some of his background. So he grew up in Ben Hill, Georgia, and they got married in 1970. They had a daughter named Michelle in 1972 and a son named Michael in 1976. Now, he goes by Mikey, too, so I'm going to say both. The couple ended up living in Douglasville, Georgia, which is a rural suburb of Atlanta, like a smaller one. Everyone loved him in like the whole town, and he was super helpful. He was always willing to lend a hand. He loved his family so much, and it showed. Like every interview that they said that he was obsessed with his family, and it was cute. And like his name's Jerry, and that's my dad's name. So yeah, he worked as a successful mechanic, and he made a name for himself because he was really good at it. So he opened up his own auto mechanic business called Lee Road Auto Service. So we love this father of two and this grandfather, Jerry. Like, he's a sweet baby angel face. In 2013, sadly, Jerry was diagnosed with venous reflux, which basically means that the venous valves don't work in your body properly. So when you're standing or sitting, blood will pool in your lower body.
Oh.
Yeah. It sounds terrible. And sometimes the veins in his legs would just burst.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like pretty serious. And he would stand in a puddle of blood. Like, yeah. On June 19th, 2013, his 37-year-old son, Mikey, who was the deputy at the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, went over there to have lunch with his dad. He did that almost every day. Like he would stop by, go have lunch or something, and they were super close. And the call came through, and they played it on the Snapped episode. You would have thought that Mikey was ordering a pizza. He's law enforcement, so I sort of get it, but he said, "Can you send an ambulance to my mama and daddy's house? I think my dad's dead."
Wow, that's very
like that.
cash.
Mm-hmm. The police showed up quick, and Mikey was very chill, and he was standing outside. He told him that he went in, saw blood everywhere, and the furniture was kind of in disarray. And he searched the whole house looking for him. And so then when he walked back in the living room, he stepped on the rug, and he said, quote, he could feel that it was a body. So there was a rug rolled up.
And he didn't realize that?
That's my thing. That was the part that I was like, wait, what? You're a cop. Like, what do you mean?
And you have eyeballs.
Yeah, like it was rolled up beside the couch.
With the body of a dad.
Yeah.
Which
and
means
he
a
was
man.
a bigger dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just saying you didn't see the big fucking carpet burrito? That makes no sense. That makes no... Sorry.
It's okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
That part kind of stopped me, and I was like, wait, what? Because they kind of just breezed over it. And
Don't they always?
right?
That's what you have to do. You got to breeze over things that you can't understand or justify.
Yeah, I guess so. And he told them that his health wasn't great, and he was actually in the process of considering surgery for his condition. He suggested that Jerry may have died from natural causes, which would explain the blood, and wrapped himself up because he was cold for so much blood loss in the rug. The look on your face is the look that was on mine when I was typing this. It's confused. And like, really? Yeah. The cops quickly debunked that when they looked, though, because they said that in their experience, that much blood at the scene does not point to a natural death. And it was definitely
like that he
a homicide.
accidentally
Like his
cut
veins
his
popped.
jugular.
Yeah. They said it was everywhere, too. Like,
like
even
he then walked around
the
while
normal,
he was,
the normal person walking in there would know, like even an untrained person.
Right.
The living room showed a huge struggle, and Jerry fought for his life and unfortunately lost. Jerry had at least 15 to 16 stab wounds on his chest, neck, and legs, and when they unrolled him, and he had defensive wounds on his hand. He had a head wound, and they think he was hit with a vase. So, like, super violent, crazy. The cops evaluated it, and then, of course, they made a suspect profile. They were looking for a large, strong man who's familiar with Jerry's house based on where they found the blood, because they found a palm print on the wall, so they saw that the killer wore gloves. And then there was, like, you could tell that they cleaned up. They tried to a little bit before they left. However, they did find bloody footprints at the scene, so they assumed that it was a 10.5-foot person.
Well, there ain't no way you can be leaking blood like that and not, man.
Yeah, someone stepped in blood barefoot there.
Oh, barefoot.
So 10.5, they wear a size 10.5.
Barefoot?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right? It appeared that Jerry was in the middle of cooking supper because his dinner was in a pot and the stove was still on. So he was attacked on the 18th the night before.
Just cooking and just
it was
hitting the head
almost on
with a
fire.
vase.
It was almost on fire like the pot was. It wasn't a robbery. Nothing was missing. There was no sign of forced entry. So what the fuck? And outside in Jerry's vehicle, they found blood on the steering wheel, and his keys ended up somehow in a tree above the truck. So the killer tried to steal the car, and they think when it wouldn't start, he threw them up, like up in the air, like mad. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
They were like, they didn't understand how they found him up there either, but it was stuck in it. They were stuck in a tree. So I'm glad they found him, but still. Some of the officers canvassed the area. No one sees anything suspicious at all. One neighbor said they saw a, quote, large woman walking away from the direction of Jerry's house around 10:30 the night that they think he was killed. This was Jerry's next door neighbor who was over 6 feet tall, and she was about 450 pounds. She a big girl. They go talk to the woman, and she said her name was Tabriz Toole.
I'm glad that she was getting some steps in.
She was basically like, I walk at night because people are dicks, and I'm a big girl, so I walk at night.
That makes me sad.
And she didn't want people to talk shit, so she walked at nighttime. That's what she said.
Aww.
They eliminated her and kept going. Then, so of course, they look at immediate family. His wife, so sad. His wife was so cute, too. His wife was in Florida for a girls' trip with her sisters.
Oh, my gosh.
So she was ruled out. But get this, it was the first time she had ever taken a vacation without him.
Oh, my gosh.
The first time. And she got the phone call.
I can't do this.
Right?
I can't do this.
I can't.
Oh, my God. I'm having a hard day.
Like the first.
That's it. I can't do it. I'm done.
So then they look at Mikey and they brought him in. During questioning, he was like really chill. And he was like, no. And he said, they were like, where were you? And he said, I was home alone the night before.
Of course.
Michael tells them that they were like, well, who did it then? Because obviously they don't want it to be him. He's on their team. He's in law enforcement. So they're like, well, who else? They're like, who else did it? And he goes, well, there is a halfway house for troubled teen boys in the neighborhood. And his dad had multiple negative encounters with these boys. Like one time they stole Michael's sister's car, Michelle's car. One time they just walked in when his mom was in there making dinner. One of them busted in the back door and saw her and ran off. So they've had
so they're just not two children.
Yeah, they went to talk to the boys, but they all got ruled out too. And so since the cops had the bare footprint and the killer tried to steal the car, the cops were like, well, it has to be somebody nearby. You're barefoot and you tried to take a car. There's no database for footprints though, like there is for fingerprints. So they had to take footprints from everybody. That's how they ruled the boys out. Guess who else's didn't match though? Mikey's. So it wasn't him. The cops.
What?
The cops start having meetings because they're getting pissed. It's been a month and they liked Jerry. Everybody did. And they're comparing their notes. And then they see one common thing that they overlooked, the large woman. Dun, dun, dun. The look on your face.
What?
Yeah. So they ran her name through the database and they're like, there's nobody named Tabriz Toole that lives in Douglasville. Because they just thought, they felt sorry for her because she's like, I'm a big girl and I walk at night. And they were like,
oh my God,
that's
we
sad.
just unfat shamed somebody and let her get away with murder?
Yeah.
I'd be real pissed if a fucking big old girl came after me and I'm like, what'd you do, sit on me?
Oh, yeah. They find out that 32-year-old Sahara Tabriz Fakir, which I think it's a fucker, which you will say fucker after this.
Oh my, fuck her. I'm already mad. Why? Okay.
Okay. She's a devout Muslim from Ohio, and she had moved with her mom 6 years before that, and she couldn't work due to her massive weight gain. And remember, 450 pounds.
How big are the ones from that show you like to watch?
What show I like to watch?
The big girls, the 1,000-pound sisters or something?
Yeah, but they're shorter too.
Yeah, but how do they? I don't know how you can attack somebody.
She's tall.
Because when you
Don't Google her yet, but I have a point to tell you to look her up.
Okay, I can't wait.
Okay, she had a rap sheet with traffic stops and account fraud or something. She was on misdemeanor probation and had threatened her probation officer, saying she was going to, quote, cut her throat, which got her charged with terroristic threatening. She currently had a warrant out for her arrest because of the probation violation from the terroristic threat. And so, I mean, that's why she gave a fake name, they thought. They arrested her, so they're like, all right, we got to bring this bitch in because we can, because she's got a warrant. And they go, and she's large, so they use plastic cuffs.
Can you tell me one more time if she was a big girl?
They refer to it a lot.
They have to, because 450 pounds isn't... You ate too much fucking Christmas fudge. Like, it's obviously...
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like theme in the story, for sure.
Also, if you're like 7 foot, they're going to reference you being really tall.
But they thought they were looking for a dude.
I understand that.
Yeah, so
I understand.
So, like, whoa. They go to arrest her, and they use the plastic cuffs, right? She busted out of those, which has never happened before. They were like, she was fucking strong. She lifted an officer up off the ground and threw him.
Let me look her up.
No, you gotta wait. She flipped her shit and took like multiple officers to subdue her because they said she was like oddly
like
strong,
gorilla strong,
like because she was raging because she was so mad. Yeah, They finally got to take her in. During questioning, she's like, "I've never been in his house. I don't see me doing that. I don't see me doing that," which is a weird way to say it. Then she starts talking, and I listened to this, and I need you to watch this episode afterwards because this bitch, okay. She goes on and on during the interview about her health journey. She's like, oh, I just joined the aquatic center, and I swim laps. I eat this, and it's wild. Like, she talks like she's an influencer for weight loss on the interview.
I can't wait to see this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm really happy you went second because this is the pick-me-up I needed, which is still terrible. Let me number. I don't want to sound that way, but.
Yeah, so she's like obsessively talking about it to the point where she's angry about not losing the weight while she's talking about it. And they humor her for a bit. Like the female officer's like, oh, what kind of, because she's like, well, I don't eat processed wheat and I don't, no sodas. And she's like, well, that's great. Do you like fresh food? And like she's baiting her a little bit. And then they're like, cool, that's cute. Love your journey. Now give us your footprint. She's like, yeah, you're not getting that. And then they somehow talk her into approving that a foot specialist comes in and examine it, which that's my worst nightmare. Could you imagine? If there's a hell, that would be my job in hell. Being a foot examiner specialist. Because
mine would be
I hate feet.
A kindergarten teacher.
Oh.
That to me would be.
I would have to moonlight as a foot specialist and do that during. Oh God.
That or I really couldn't be a sex or organ doctor person. I cannot poke around on any privates. Nope.
New year, new you.
Yeah. Just loved doing it in the past. Woke up one day and was like, no more.
I can't. I got to stop.
I could never be a gynecologist.
Oh, God. Could you? No. Anyway, we're going to scoot past that one, too, because I don't know.
Put it on the shelf. Let's go.
So her foot appears to be a match after the examination of the 10.5 size that they found there. They searched her room and found a mattress on the floor, a small desk, and had a shit ton of journals stacked on it. And out her window, it looks directly at Jerry's house. It's about 50 yards away. Under the mattress, they found an 11.5-inch knife. A big old knife. It was like some
That's
common.
Very big.
Yeah, not common knife. And they took it apart and found Jerry's DNA on it.
Dude, that's like a fucking machete.
Yeah.
I'm over here just measuring.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that's an inch?
Your knuckle?
Yeah, that tends to be roughly an inch.
Oh. I did not know that. It just looked like you were scooting your index finger along, like doing some weird game that I wasn't playing. Okay.
No, that's like this long, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's a fucking machete?
Yeah.
Machete?
You have multiple. You're very cultural today.
Yeah. Am I?
Yeah. Like sushi wannabe or whatever you said.
Ooh, sush. Okay. Let's get sush soon.
Oh, my God. Okay, July 17th, 2013, they formally charged Sahara with Jerry's murder, and then they're like, but why?
Yeah.
They never even spoken.
No fucking way.
No. They didn't know each other.
Oh my God, could you imagine a 450-pound woman just barging into your house while you're cooking?
Yeah.
And kill you?
Yeah. Okay. They started asking her because they're like, then they said, okay, well, what if someone saw you there? And her response was, quote, oh, they were probably working for the Illuminati. She's like just saying
I'm done.
delusional
When
shit.
can I look her up?
Okay, look her up. I'll let you do it right now.
What's her name again?
Sahara.
I knew it was like
F-A-K.
Sahara.
Wait. I don't remember how to spell her name.
Desert.
No, not desert. Fakir. F-A-H-K-I-R. And I want you to look at and just a photo. You might have to put Tabriz in the middle. That's her middle name.
Okay. One more time.
Sahara.
Okay.
Tabriz. T-A-B-R-I-Z. Yeah.
That's what I needed.
And look at her. Yeah. And then, okay, I put a note in there. I let you do it early.
Oh, and he looked like a sweet baby angel.
He was.
He was so sweet. He just got that face of a sweet little baby angel.
He was. He used to close his business if like his grandkids had a recital or something. Like he would just,
Aww.
or like if his wife wanted to go to dinner, he'd take her on a date night and shut his doors. That's why he opened his own business so he could spend more time with his family.
She looks like a crazy fucking murderer.
Okay, she looks like a large version of Orange is the New Black Dandelion with those eyes.
Yep.
Okay.
Her eyes look like they're going to pop right out of her head.
Yeah, they probably don't have anywhere else to go. She's 450 pounds. And I'm only fat shaming her because she's a killer.
She's real scary looking.
Okay, so they're reading her hundreds of journals at the same time, right? While she's in there talking this Illuminati nonsense. And most of it is her obsessing over her weight. She's very angry and hard on herself, and she says, like, I need to be eating better, I need to exercise and shit.
She's not obviously hard on herself.
And shit like that. Well, she's writing like,
I get that.
Yeah. So she also has a hatred of law enforcement and Douglas County government in general. They found a list in those notebooks of police officers with names that she wanted dead. This made them believe that she either wanted to kill Mikey, the son, who's the sheriff's deputy, or she thought his dad was a cop because he came over for lunch every day and he drove the cop car so she could see the driveway in her window. So she thought she was killing a cop. They said it looked like she was consumed by shame about her weight, and she was so religious that she was committing the deadly sin of gluttony.
Yeah.
I
can see where her head is at.
Yeah. She fixated on her weight and rage, and she thought that all law enforcement was evil. It was so bad in the interviews. These are wild. She said, quote, Allah will get me out because he knows the type of people you are. This is Satan's jail. So they were like, cute. We need to make sure that you're competent to stand trial.
Yeah.
And she was. Because she covered it up. She knew it was wrong. And then she tried to cover it up afterwards. So, like, that's how they were like, well, you're going to trial. They had a plea hearing, and the judge is like, hey, you can have a lawyer, right? You know that. And this cocky bitch is like, Allah's my lawyer right now. And he's like, ma'am, are you sure? And she gets pissed at him, and she's like, Allah's my lawyer right now. And if you do not release me, Allah will have vengeance on you. Like he did in 2009 and sent that flood. It's only going to get worse. Yeah. She knew. And like I said, she tried to cover it up. So the judge denies bail, and she's like, wait, what? I'm not going home. And he's like, no.
Yeah. She really thought.
Yeah.
She truly, in her mind. Was like, I'm going to go home today.
Yeah. From her jail cell, she starts writing letters. And she wrote letters to the judge saying she's being punished for gluttony, not the murder, for her gluttony. She's like, look, I binge ate a shit ton of candy, and after I promised Allah that I would lose weight. That's why she thought, not for the fucking murder, for eating too many fucking Kit Kats. Yeah.
Wow. Poor guy. I just can't get over the fact that he died for no reason.
No
reason at all.
And on September 22nd, 2014, she went to trial and they painted the picture. She was so pissed at herself for overeating, she grabbed the knife and go kill who she thought was a cop. In reality was sweet Jerry, who was 66 years old, and the cop's dad. The trial was crazy. And you saw her court photos. She had them dandelion crazy eyes. Yeah. She looked right into the news camera at one point and said, why are you here? You're all lizard people and working for the Illuminati. Into the camera on the news.
Yeah, whenever I looked her up, it was like craziest interview in a courtroom ever or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the trial was a week, and of course it was the spectacle. She laughed and smirked. She rolled them big old bug eyes. She sniffed Sharpies and sat there and colored her nails in with it. Could not care less and seemed proud of what she had done.
I feel so bad for his family.
That's my next line. His poor wife and family had to sit there while she did all that and know that she killed Jerry. I've told Will the story. I'm like, if I had to sit there in a courtroom with someone that was acting that way that killed you, I would get arrested.
I would get arrested too.
100%.
I would 1,000% get arrested.
I would get held in contempt.
I would have gone into the courtroom, hit a gun at some point after whatever, and I'd shoot her in the back of the head.
Oof. Yeah.
I would 100%. I can't.
Yeah, it was bad. Then obviously she was found guilty and she got life without parole. Like, I literally cried when I was hearing his wife talk about how it's not just her loss, it's the whole community's loss. And she just sounded obliterated.
Oh, of course. How do you keep going?
She does for her grandkids, but I cried. Like, it's sad. And then big old Sahara Tabriz Fakir is at Arendelle State Prison, and she, to this day, says she's innocent. To this day. Some people say, and I just wanted to point this out, that there is a little bit of cover-up, and Sahara's mom still says there's no way she did it. She's too big, she's immobile. I'm like, she picked a cop up and threw him. Like, I think
fact that she's not immobile.
Yeah. Like,
she also was saying she was going on her nightly exercise walk. So
yeah. And then swimming at the aquatic center.
That's so crazy to think that, like, rage of your weight. This is why I don't like organized religion.
I mean,
because it's only what. Okay.
But murder's a sin too.
I know.
Like, that's I don't think how it justifies that. Now, there was a crazy thing after she started saying all that shit. One of the judges did get really sick after she blurted all that out. And she's like, see, I told you. She mailed a letter to the wrong judge and said, see, I told you. Why do you think he got sick? And sent it to the wrong judge. And she kept harassing another judge that was the wrong judge. Like, this
is a random judge?
Yeah. And he wrote her back and was like, I'm not on your case. Like, why are you sending me letters? Stop it. But yeah, one of the guys got real sick, had to have like 5 surgeries and stuff.
But see, that's what, whenever I say, this is why I don't like organized religion, what I don't like about that level of it is where it's like, you can never be, you're chasing something that you can't be good enough for. No one isn't a sinner.
Yeah.
We are all sinners. We sin every day, but it's whether or not you let that then become even more.
She sounds like some people use religion in a bad way.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm going to kill them because she's already pissed at the cops. So it's like
But it's like, what did that even have to do with her religion either?
She already hated them anyway. It's a big thing. And some people say that there was a little bit of cover up by the Douglas County government. Here's the thing. I'm just pointing it out. And because her mom still says she didn't do it, people have brought race into it because she is African American and the fact that she's a Muslim. They've mentioned that. I personally don't think, based on everything that I read, that had anything to do with it.
It doesn't sound like it.
But they were like, well, his son was a cop, so they're connecting.
If you want to be angry and you want to pick a different side, you can poke a hole in anything. Everything's fucking true. Swiss cheese. You know what I'm saying?
That is.
What? That's the cheese of all
I need to laugh after this bullshit. God. Okay, and that's the sad story of the murder. I quit. I'm done. I quit. I made it all the way through. I quit.
The murder of Jerry.
The sad story of Jerry Wheeler.
Oh, that's sad.
That got killed because I can't say the word murder.
Ugh. Well, then we shouldn't have a murder podcast.
I'm just gonna start
finding. Man, that was sad.
God, I know.
Today was a bummer bear. Our next episode's going to be a little bit shorter and sweeter so that we don't have to go home and drink excessively because of our sadness of the episode. But
yeah,
we love you guys.
You know what? We do.
We do. We love you guys so much. We hope that you're having a great holiday season and that everything's just really great for you.
Yeah. Go subscribe. Give me a present. Give us a present.
Of your love.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?